was an atomic fission we saw, all right. Any of you who wants to look may do so, but it's not a pretty sight.
Why did we even come all this way, then? There's no point in even landing. Let's go back at once.
Let me look. Good Lord! But how could...
But I'd like to look for myself, if I may. I see. Well, I won't find any legumes there. Bad. No life could possibly exist. Atmosphere poisoned, water vaporized, all the land fused.
I wonder what the atmospheric sample will show.
I think I can guess. Most of the atmosphere is poisoned. But didn't we expect all this? I don't see why we're so surprised. A fission visible as far away as our system must be a terrible thing. Bad. No life could possibly exist. Atmosphere poisoned. Water vaporized. All the land fused.
Could they have gone underground? Look, over there at the edge, do you see it? Please, turn the ship. Turn the ship and let's see what it is. Oh dear, how awful.
Piers. Piers of some sort of stone. There's nothing alive. I think we'll go right back. I know most of you want to go. Get the government receiving station on this sender and tell them what we found, and that we...
So there is life here after all. But how could...
Give us a hand. Give us a hand. We've got to land the ship. Low in carbohydrates. We can break down the stored fats if we want to, but...
I wonder if we could find anything outside. How uninviting it looks. What do you suppose an exploring party would find?
Not much. Maybe a few weeds growing in the cracks here and there. Nothing we could use. Anything that would adapt to this environment would be toxic, lethal.
How do you explain it? According to your theory, the inhabitants must have died in their skins, fried like yams. But who fired on us? Somebody detected us, made a decision, aimed a gun?
Engaged distance. That's the part that worries me. The first shell put us out of commission. The second almost destroyed us. They were well aimed. Perfectly aimed. We're not such an easy target.
True. Well, perhaps we'll know the answer before we leave here. What a strange situation. All our reasoning tells us that no life could exist. The whole planet burned dry. The atmosphere itself gone, completely poisoned.
The gun that fired projectiles survived. Why not people?
It's not the same. Metal doesn't need air to breathe. Metal doesn't get leukemia from radioactive particles. Metal doesn't need food and water.
A paradox. Anyhow, in the morning, I think we should send out a search party. And meanwhile, we should keep on trying to get the ship in condition for the trip back.
It'll be days before we can take off. We should keep everybody working here. We can't afford to send out a party.
We'll send you in the first party. Maybe you can discover. What was it you were so interested in?
Legumes. Edible legumes.
Maybe you can find some of them. Only watch out. They fired on us once without even knowing who we were or what we came for. Do you suppose that they fought with each other? Perhaps they couldn't imagine anyone being friendly under any circumstances. What a strange evolutionary trait. Interspecies warfare, fighting within the race.
We'll know in the morning. Let's get some sleep.
Listen, the captain is dying. No one knows except the two of us. By the end of the day period of this planet, he'll be dead. The shock did something to his heart. He was almost 60, you know?
That's bad. I have a great deal of respect for him. You will be captain in his place, of course, since you're vice captain now.
No, I prefer to see someone else lead, perhaps you or Fomar. I've been thinking over the situation, and it seems to me that I should declare myself mated to one of you. Whichever of you wants to be captain, then I could devolve the responsibility.
Do you see? This whole place is a natural bowl, a huge valley. See how the rock formations rise up on all sides, protecting the floor. Maybe some of the great blast was deflected here.
We're coming to something. The white stones, the great broken teeth, we saw them, the captain and I, from the control room.
There's no telling what we'll find there. Wait, we don't know what we would be getting into. They must have patrols. They probably have seen us already, for that matter.
They probably have seen the ship itself. They probably know right now where they can find it, where they can blow it up. So what difference does it make whether we go closer or not? But let's stay together.
I have a hand weapon. Well, let's go on then.
That's true. If they really want to get to us, we haven't a chance. We have no armaments at all, you know that.
Just a skeleton of a dead city. That's all that's left.
But it was from here that the firing came. Don't forget that.
And by someone with a good eye and a great deal of experience. Let's go.
It's macabre. I've seen ruined cities before, but they died of old age. Old age and fatigue. This was killed, seared to death. This city didn't die. It was murdered. Nasha, you know, I think we're being watched. What do you see?
The gun! It's the gun!
Look at the size of it. The size of the thing.
It's alive. It's listening to us, watching us.
Watch, I'll show you. Don't move. You see? It noticed the rock as soon as I threw it up in the air. It's alert to anything that flies or moves above the ground level. Probably it detected us as soon as we entered the gravitational field of the planet. It probably had a bead on us from the start. We don't have a chance. It knows all about the ship. It's just waiting for us to take off again.
I understand about the rock. The gun noticed it, but not us, since we're on the ground, not above. It's only designed to combat objects in the sky. The ship is safe until it takes off again. Then the end will come.
But what's the gun for? There's no one alive around here. Everyone is dead.
It's a machine. A machine that was made to do a job. And it's doing the job. How it survived the blast, I don't know. On it goes, waiting for the enemy. Probably they came by air and some sort of projectiles.
The enemy. Their own race. It's hard to believe that they really bombed themselves, fired at themselves.
Well, it's over with. Except right here, where we're standing. This one gun, still alert, ready to kill. It'll go on until it wears out.
And by that time, we'll be dead.
They must have been used to the sight. Guns, weapons, uniforms. Probably they accepted it as a natural thing, part of their lives, like eating and sleeping. An institution, like the church and the state. Men trained to fight, to lead armies, a regular profession. Honored, respected.
Where did he go?
Don't move. Tance, come back. What's the matter with you?
In a minute. I think I found something. Come up and I'll show you.
All right, let's go. Come on, let's see what he's found.
Doral, you said the gun was here to keep the enemy off. I think I found what the gun is supposed to guard.
Like what? What are you talking about? You act as if you knew what he's found.
I do. Do you remember the legend that all races have? The myth of the buried treasure, and the dragon, the serpent that watches it, guards it, keeping everyone away. That is the dragon.
Now what? All right.
I can't think of any other way. I think we can get through. Let's try.
All these other crates. More pictures, and these drums. What are in the boxes?
Look at this! Records of some kind. And those crates. What exactly is all this? Something valuable, I would think. This is their treasure. Here are their pictures, their records. Probably all of their literature is here. Their stories, their myths, their ideas about the universe.
We'll be able to trace their development and find out what it was that made them become what they were.
They digitized everything. Even at the end, even after they had begun to fight, they still knew, someplace down inside them, that their real treasure was this, their books and pictures, their myths. Even after their big cities and buildings and industries were destroyed, they probably hoped to come back and find this. After everything else was gone.
When we get back home, we can agitate for a mission to come here. All this can be loaded up and taken back.
Yes. We'll be leaving about 3-day periods from now. We'll fix the ship, then take off. Soon we'll be home. That is, if nothing happens. Like being shot down by that.
Oh, stop it. Leave him alone. He's right. All this must be taken back home sooner or later. We'll have to solve the problem of the gun. We have no choice.
What's your solution, then? As soon as we leave the ground, we'll be shot down. They've guarded their treasure too well. Instead of being preserved, it will lie here until it rots. This was the only way they knew, building a gun and setting it up to shoot anything that came along. They were so certain that everything was hostile. The enemy, coming to take their possessions away from them.
Dorley, what's the matter with us? We have no problem. The gun is no menace at all. Ha! The poor foolish gun, it's completely harmless. Even I could deal with it.
It's already shot us down once, and as soon as we take off again...
Of course we're at its mercy in the air. That's the way it was made. It can fire into the sky, shoot down anything that flies, but that's all. Against something on the ground, it has no defenses. Isn't that right?
Don't you see? The soft underbelly of the dragon. In the legend, the dragon's armor doesn't cover its stomach. That's right. That's perfectly right.
Let's go then, Ed. Let's get back to the ship. We have work to do here.
What are you thinking?
Nothing. I was thinking that there must have been a time when this planet was quite different, when there was life on it.
I suppose there was. It's unfortunate that no ships from our system came this far. But then we had no reason to suspect intelligent life until we saw the fission glow in the sky.
And then it was too late.
Not quite too late. After all, their possessions, their music, books, their pictures, all of that will survive. We'll take them home and study them, and they'll change us. We won't be the same afterwards.
When we come back, we won't find the gun waiting for us. Next time, it won't be there to shoot us down. We can land and take the treasure, as you call it. You'll lead us back there as a good captain should.
Then you've decided.
Fulmar argues with me too much. I think, all in all, I really prefer you.
Then let's go. Let's go back home.